All right, all right. I believe that we are live on YouTube. Live on YouTube. I sure hope that this is working correctly. I wanted to go live today, this morning. It's Sunday morning here in Las Vegas, Sunday the 22nd. And I just was excited to come on here and try to have you check out with me this vegan health bundle that we have going on right now. It is the last day to be able to grab this bundle. So, yeah, I wanted to hop on here and just kind of go through and just show you what's inside because today's the last day. And it's always a bummer when people say, "Oh, I missed it. Can I get it? Can I get it still?" And it's over, right? So we have one day left. It ends tonight at midnight. And if you're tuning in on YouTube, great to see you over here. I just figured out how to do this last night, and then Lissa gave me another rundown, make sure I was doing this correctly. So it looks like it's working good. Got a couple of you in here, which is really cool. So if you have a question, fire those questions away. I'll do my best to answer those questions. I wanted to share my screen so that way we could kind of go through what is inside the bundle. This is an amazing deal. It's really a fun thing to be a part of, and it's really a great deal because you get so much for such a screaming price. $49. There's 70 different items in there. And man, I think the total was like, it's over like $4,600 worth of stuff, right? So really, really fun stuff. So let me see if I can share my screen here, and really excited that I can do this through Zoom. This has been something that I've been really wanting to do. Let's see here. Hold on. Where are we doing? Share the screen. Let's see if this is working. Hopefully you can see that screen. Let me just pull this down, try to figure this out. I really want to get a little bit better at doing these kinds of things because I feel like this is a very powerful tool to be able to go live with everybody here on YouTube. So let me pull this down over here. We've got a couple people in here. So like I said, if you have any questions, fire those questions away. But for those of you tuning in maybe a little bit later, you'll have this to check out as well. So check this out. This is the site. I'm always telling people at least go see what's inside. It doesn't cost anything to see what's inside. Hopefully you guys can see this. Oh, hold on. What did I do? There we go. Hopefully you can see. Oh, if I'm sharing my screen down here, gosh, I know I need to listen here just to make sure. Can you see that? Maybe if you're in here, you can let me know if you can actually see this, because I don't want you to see my actual computer screen. I want you to just see the bundle, and this is what I'm sharing. So hopefully it's working. If you're here, maybe give me a 7 to let me see if you can let me know if you can see this screen here. Let me open this up full screen. Hopefully that is coming through. Well, anyways, whatever the case is, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm trying to see on YouTube. It doesn't look like it's sharing my screen on my YouTube live. Oh man, I don't know. Hopefully this is working. I almost need to practice or do a test run because I'm not sure if you actually can see the the screen that I'm trying to show you, which is the bundle website. Um, yeah, I'm wondering here. Let me see. Whatever. I'm not even going to trip on it. I'm going to ask Alyssa to hop in here real quick just to make sure, because I want to make sure that you can see it. And I haven't got anybody giving me a 7 to let me know if they can see the screen that I'm sharing, which is the bundle screen. Let me see if I can get her over here real quick. We probably should have done a practice run on this before I did go live, but whatever. It's all good. I don't even care. I just having some fun with it. Um, Babe, can you hop in my YouTube live? Let's see if she can come in here because, yeah, I want to make sure that we can see this. And so that way I'm not just sitting here going through all the stuff, but you guys can't even see what I'm showing you. Maybe she'll hop in here in a minute, but I'll go through what I see so far. One of them is the Plant Powered Party video replays. And I really loved that we were a part of this Plant Powered Party. There is multiple hours worth of lectures in the Plant Powered Party. And it's basically everything that we did at that party compiled into one product. And I believe that Chef AJ is selling that for $150, which is pretty massive. And then we have the Raw Vegan Culinary Techniques. This is Lissa's brand new book that she put together. And it's just all the different kind of fun things that we do in the kitchen with the different tools to be able to make fun food. Hey, I've got a few people in here, YouTube Live. Can you let me know in the chat, type a 7 if you can see that I'm sharing the bundle website screen? Do you see that screen? Or give me a 1 if you only see me. I'm like, I should have done a practice run with Lissa. She still hasn't answered her Instagram. She's in the other room. But I want to make sure that you guys can even see the screen. I asked her, I'm like, I can just share my screen through Zoom because that's what I'm doing here. I still haven't got any of you chatting in here with me, giving me a 1 or a 7. A 1 if you only see me, and give me a 7 if you can see the actual bundle website screen that I'm sharing here. That'd be really helpful. I almost feel like I should just end this and do a practice run with her because, yeah, she's not coming in. And I want to make sure. Okay, 1, you only see me. Okay, well, that's not very cool. I wonder if I bring this down this way. Let me go like this. Thank you. Thank you, you guys. Melanie, it looks like, and Tracy. Let me see if I pull this down this way and open it up here. Can you see the screen now? But oh, shoot, what did I do? I got to make sure that I'm up here. Hold on. Get this back up here so I can see you. And then I'm going to pull up the bundle site. Let's see, where is it at? Right there. Okay. How can I do both of them? Thanks for bearing with me. This is my first time essentially live sharing a screen on YouTube, so I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, I'm going to pull this to the side so I can at least see the chat coming through. And can't see yet. Okay, so how about now? I know, and how do I do this to where I can still see the chat? I have to maybe like bring this a little bit bigger, but then you probably see my other little screen. How about now? Do you see the vegan bundle website that I'm trying to share? I'm gonna pull this chat aside. That's about as far over as I can get there. And I'm like, how do we do this till we can see? I want to be able to see the chat. Oh, maybe if I put the chat up here. There we go. How about like that? And then I can make this full screen. There. How's that? Can you see now the bundle screen? Type a 7 if you can see the bundle screen now. That would be amazing. Nope, can't see it yet even still. Okay, let's keep grinding. I know there's a lag on YouTube, so maybe here in a moment you'll be able to see. No, okay, both you guys say no. You still don't see my bundle screen. Basically, I just have the website open. I wanted to go through the bundle just to have some fun and just to practice this YouTube live. So hey, thanks for being in here and giving me some assistance, letting me know that you can't see it, which is a real bummer. Okay. Well, that's kind of frustrating in a way because if you can only see me and you can't see the screen that I'm trying to share, which I am sharing my screen, let me go to share and I'm going to say desktop. Let's go to desktop. And there we go. Let's try that. I mean, you'd think I'd know how to work Zoom by now. Definitely should have done a practice run. I feel so lost in here for a second. What's going on? Okay, right there. Okay, share the desktop. How is that? Can you see the bundle screen now? Can you see the website that I'm on now? It does show that I'm sharing it. Okay, this might be a little bit better. Let me know if you can see that. Type a 7. Type a 7 if you can see the bundle screen. This is ridiculous. I definitely should have done a practice run. I thought it was going to be so simple. Okay, yes, yes. Okay, good. So that's how I have to do it. I have to share the desktop, and then I keep the desktop down here. The only thing that's kind of a bummer is I'm not looking at you when I'm showing you this stuff, but not a big deal. But I really appreciate you guys letting me know. Okay, 7. Cool, cool. Okay, all right. So we're good. Now we're set up. Thanks for helping me. You know, when you're getting into doing something new, it's a whole learning curve. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I need to just try this because I'm really excited to go live on YouTube more. So here we go. If you guys don't know about the vegan health bundle, I just wanted to pump it because today's the last day. And I ought to have been pumping it like this every single day. It's been a wild week. We've had a lot of fun, but I want to make sure that you guys get to see this if you haven't got the bundle already. So you can just type I put the link in the YouTube description box. It's the top link. You can go check out the bundle there and you can watch the trailer. There's a trailer right up here up top, which you can, see what's actually inside, kind of go through. But I figured what I would do here with you live today is just kind of, I'm just going to scroll through and just check it all out. So as we have the plant powered party video replays. Chef AJ put that in there. Oh, and the price is $197 she normally sells that for. And so it says here, you get to see all the stuff that you missed in Vegas, which there should be another plant-powered party this year. I believe it's going to be in September. We're striving to do another one in September, which that should be really, really fun. And then it says, enjoy a bonus-free first 30 days inside Chef AJ's community. She's even given away a 30-day free ticket to be inside of her community. So that's a pretty screaming value alone just right there. Then we have the Raw Vegan Culinary Techniques. This is the book that Lissa put together. And essentially what she's teaching here in that book is all the different techniques that we use when we're making raw food. Some people don't know about wet chopping. Some people don't know about using a peeler to peel cabbage to make it nice and thin. So it says here, 296 pages going over all the culinary techniques that both her and I use in our raw vegan diet. 55 recipes are in there. Not all of them are new, but they're our top tier favorite recipes. It was really fun, when she's like, what should I put in there? I'm like, oh, we should put that in there. Oh, let's get that one in there too. So there's 55 recipes in that book. And then you can also learn the freeze thaw, or what we call the kendallizing method. The reason that we call it kendallizing is because our friend Chris Kendall, who's also in the bundle, we'll go through his book here too. He taught us about it. He's like, you take your vegetables and you freeze them. And then when you thaw them out, they're like, the texture it's like they've been lightly steamed, which is really a nice effect, right? And the reason being is because the water expands in the cell, right, of the vegetable or whatever you're freezing. And then when you thaw it, it kind of relaxes down a little bit and it just changes the texture. It's like it's been lightly steamed. So when you hear us say kendallizing, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the freeze thaw method. The 5 tastes she talks about, very, very good. And these 5 tastes, it's really amazing. We have these taste buds in our tongue, right? We've got these different receptors, the sweet, the sour, the savory, stuff to pick up more like the herbs. And then of course the umami, right? The umami, the real savory one. So she goes over that. And then she also says here, water content control, infusion, condensing, dehydrating, and how to chop. So really a fun book. It's a beautiful book. That's a $40 value there. And then I've got my brand new full mast book in there. And this is really where I am starting to, it's not like I'm shifting complete directions. I just really want to focus on helping men. And if you have a man that needs some help in your life, it's interesting. I get a lot of comments from different people in my audience, and most of them are women, and they're like, I can't get my husband, or I can't get my boyfriend or my partner to eat like this. So I really was like, man, what can I do to focus in on helping guys? And of course, the way that my story goes, if any of you know my story, full mast is definitely a key part of my story. And when I spoke to this guy on the ski lift who reversed his stage 4 colorectal cancer at the age of 42. And he's like, I've been a raw foodie ever since for 44 years. And I'm like, man, you're 86 years old. That's amazing. Like, how's the flagpole, right? As a guy, and he's like, full mast. And I'm like, dang, I got to do this. So that's always been like a real key part of my story. And of course, living full mast is so much deeper than just say blood flow for men. The concept of a flag flying half mast, that means the country's in distress. And there's a lot of people that are in distress. And this book, Full Mast, a woman could follow the principles in this book and still have great outcomes as well, but I'm really wanting to focus on men. So I've got a men's school group that I started called Full Mast Empire. And I want to show these emperors that they can switch their life up by just adding more fresh, raw fruits and vegetables into their life. And of course, like exclude these processed foods. So that was the main focus of this book. It's not a recipe book. It's just a informational book and really just talking about getting that life force back, getting your libido back, your drive back. And, when we look out there, we're seeing a pretty huge problem in today's day and age, and it's really a sad situation. So I'm like, well, how can I help guys out? So that's where I put that book together. Then there's the Make It Raw 4. That's a really fun book. This is Chef AJ and Lissa. They put this one together. And, a lot of the stuff that is absolutely delicious that Chef AJ makes, Lissa wanted to make it raw. So the two of them put this one together. There's 28 delicious recipes. Enjoy the amazing raw, authentic black licorice, which, oh my gosh, I don't know if you're like me, but I grew up hating black licorice. Like I would try it, go to my grandma's house and she'd always have a bowl of, candies and whatnot. And I would have the black licorice. She loved the black licorice. I could not stand black licorice. Never have I loved black licorice ever. And I always would try a little piece. Some people would buy like the black licorice, kind of like the red vines, but it'd be the black vine, right? Couldn't stand it. This is the only black licorice that I have ever liked. Like I'm like, oh, I want some more, right? So I was really hooked with that recipe. And then there's all kinds of other stuff, ratatouille style veggies, Korean barbecue burgers. Yeah, it's just huge. Quesadilla, sushi salad, spicy peanut noodles. So that's a really fun book too, the Make It Raw 4. So if we scroll on down here, we've got Tim Kaufman's book in here and his story of addiction and illness and reclaiming his life and how a plant-based lifestyle and mindset set shifts became tools for real change. That's huge, right? A raw, hopeful reminder that transformation starts with one decision. This is so huge. This is really where it starts. We're trying to figure out like how can we switch it up? We have to do something a little different. So I'm really excited to tap into his book. I downloaded everything. When you get the bundle, you download everything and you just put it into a file. I have the bundles, the different years worth of bundles all labeled. I put VHB, Vegan Health Bundle 2026. Everything is downloaded into that folder. And I feel that that's the most important thing to do in the beginning. Once you download it, once you purchase the bundle, which if you haven't got the bundle, grab it. It's so incredible. Give it away as a gift if you don't want it for yourself, right? I mean, it's powerful stuff. Once you download, though, you have them forever. As long as you have them on a zip drive or an external hard drive or even just on your computer and your computer's good to go. It's nice to have a backup, but you have them forever. These are your books forever. And I feel that the best way to do it is just to download them right away. Once you purchase the bundle, you just go to the download and you just have to download each one. And it takes less than 5 minutes. You just, download. It doesn't take up much room. Everything's compressed as well. It doesn't take up a lot of space on your computer. But definitely excited to tap into Tim's book. Um, this book here, Amanda Sick, her Wanna Date book. This is so amazing. Oh my gosh, I love this book. I have been both listen. I have made a few different recipes in there, and that's a really really amazing book. There's a few books in here where if I was say not a part of the bundle and I didn't get the bundle because when you contribute to the bundle, which if you're listening in and you want to contribute to a bundle, we want more people to be in these bundles because it's all about trying to have more impact out there in the world. But what I was going to say is when I get into these bundles, there's always about a half a dozen books that I'm like, I would buy the bundle just for these 5, 6 books alone. And Amanda's Wanna Date book is one of those ones that I would put there. Same with with Chef Yin's Chinese Takeout. This is going to be a really fun book. We have made a few of her recipes in this book, right? So she's created, this is a master Chinese takeout flavors using healthy plant-based ingredients, create classic Chinese takeout dishes like beef and broccoli. Oh man, that was one of my favorites before I became a plant-based eater and before I became ethical vegan. Cashew chicken, General Tao, the egg foo young with raw vegan techniques. Oh my gosh, so good. Chef Yin's stuff is so incredible. Um, What chocolate did you use for the brownies? Okay, so for the brownies, Tracy, I believe that is, we used cacao powder. You could use carob powder as well for the chocolate aspect. And then the actual physical chocolate, I'd have to grab the bar. I can't remember what brand it was, but it is basically, I want to say, I don't think it was 100% cacao, but it was strict cacao. Um, she has different suggestions in there, different ways you could go about it, depending on your preference. But yeah, we had these cacao bars. Um, I would like to get a seed grinder. I believe it's called a seed grinder. It's like to make your own nut butters, and you can just throw cacao nibs in there. And I believe there might even be a little bit of, I think that I've only done it one time with our friend John Kohler. He brought it over and we made some of our own chocolate. And I want to say that there might have been some coconut in there as well. Coconut. We used the coconut and the cacao, but I know you could do just straight cacao as well. But so that's the chocolate that we used for the actual chocolate chunk, and we used it in the raw brownies, and then we also used that same cacao bar, the other half of the bar, to do her chocolate caramel cookie dough bars. And these are absolutely ridiculous. Oh my gosh. We would buy these little treats at this place called Erewhon in LA, and they would be like they're raw treats. They would be like 12 or $15 for like a little square. And that's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of one of those bars. And listen, I have found that a 1 to 1.5 inch square is like the perfect amount. Any more than that, and it's just because it's so rich, it's so decadent. But yeah, we used cacao, but you could use carob, and you probably could use some carob. I would imagine there's probably some carob chips, like chocolate chips out there. I'm not real familiar with that, what is available out there, but that's what we used. Um, so yeah, then we have here. This is Dr. Uh, uh, Sh- how do we say Shoba? I'm probably messing her name up, but Beat the Silent Killers Summit video replays. That's $127 value. Super amazing. So it says here full access to Beat the Silent Killer Summit featuring leading experts sharing evidence based strategies. Because you know how we want those evidence based strategies, right? To naturally support healthy blood pressure. Boom. I mean, that's huge. We have a lot of, I got a guy I'm coaching right now. He's actually, man, he's like, this is what he needs. He needs this right here. And, we're trying to get his blood pressure down. He's switching up his diet. He's invested in some different tools, and he's really taken initiative because he's at that wit's end. So there's a lot of people walking around out there with high blood pressure. So on demand sessions that participants can watch at their own pace with practical, actionable insights that they can apply immediately. That's beautiful. Blood pressure, supportive recipes, cooking demonstrations, and a beginner's guide to whole food plant based eating, plus more. Man, you can't go wrong. I mean, it's amazing the value. I'm thinking of like with Chef AJ's plant powered party replay, and then the Beat the Silent Killer Summit, those replays, that's over $300 worth of value right there. So that's where these bundles are just so powerful. There's so much information in here for us that we can really, all of us can implement these sorts of things. Whether you're a raw eater, because I believe there's a dozen different raw books in here, but for the average individual, not everybody wants to be a raw vegan, but they can definitely switch their game up by adding more plant foods, and that's what this bundle is really focused on. So then we have the power on plants, the cholesterol code intro. Look at this is nearly a $300 value. So stop fearing your next cholesterol test. Elevated cholesterol is not just something that happens with aging or due to bad genes. Exactly, right? It's really fascinating, like with the cholesterol situation out there. Plants don't make cholesterol. The only thing that makes cholesterol is something that has a liver, right? Like we make our own cholesterol, and then if we eat animal products, the animals have a liver, they're making cholesterol. So the cholesterol is in the animal product. When we're making our own cholesterol and we're eating animal products, this is why we're seeing these elevated cholesterol levels. And it's so simple. We can just minimize our animal product consumption, or, better yet, eliminate the animal product consumption. But it is good to be educated on what to actually do, what to actually eat. That's the part that can be tricky for some people. They're like, I don't really know what to eat. What do say a plant-based diet, what does that mean? And it's fascinating. So there's a lot of education that needs to be shared. So we get 5 steps in their plan for a clear plan to implement into our lives, natural options with no dreaded or negative side effects. I love it. That's so good. That's definitely needed. And then Chef Val here. Chef Val, she's so sweet. We did a couple lives together. We had a great time. She's a great individual. Cancer healing and prevention. And of course, that's a pretty bold claim there on that book. That should grab some people's attention. Let me scroll in. Can I scroll in here like that? No, I can't. I'm trying to zoom in a little bit. I wanted to read what her book is saying here, but it's macrobiotic. Learn macrobiotic principles and recipes to help heal and prevent cancer in this 4-class series. So each one of these classes are about 2 hours long. So there's 8 hours worth of classes there. And this is really nice, just to get this stuff into our minds. And of course, some of the things stick, right? And we can share this with our loved ones and start to just try to set the example and to help other people that we know and love do better, eat more plants. So this one here, hers, is using ancient philosophy of the energy of the food to balance your energy and create health, covering a wide variety of topics, recipes, protein foods, anti-cancer foods, parasites, toxic substances, and diagnostic testing, herbal teas, and the energy of food and spiritual healing. That's pretty powerful stuff. $140 is what she sells that for. That was her contribution. Really great contribution. And yeah, it's good stuff. So then we have here, moving on down, Learning with Lissa and Nate. We have 3 classes in here, and this is kind of a peek into our school community. We have a raw food romance school community, and this is a co-ed school community. So both men and women are co-ed, right? It's both men and women we want in there. And we're just showing 3 different classes that we have. We have our wrap class, and the wrap class is about 3 hours long because we go deep on these classes. Of course, the actual recipe part doesn't take that long, but we have fun and hang out. And it's just a copy of that recording of the wrap class where we actually show the everything bagel wrap plus the sprouted chickpea salad. So that's really cool. And then here, if we're going in here, those are the replays. Learn how to make the very popular raw vegan wraps from chopping, weighing, blending, pouring, dehydrating, when to know they're done, and how to store them and fill them and eat them. That's the one class. So 3 classes we have in there. The wrap class, the tostadas, we show how to make the tostada shells in there, as well as we have our kale chip class from start to finish. 3 different flavors. And that one there is priced at $147. So that's what we'll sell after the bundle. We'll have that for sale in our store, but that's what it'll be charged. I mean, that's what it'll be priced at, is $147. So you get the vegan health bundle for $49. You get all this stuff for $49. And the main goal, aside from everybody trying to earn a little bit of income, of course, we have to earn, right? It's about the impact. We want to have impact in people's lives, and this is a great way to do like a flash sale, so to speak, of just a bunch of stuff all at once. It's just absolutely incredible. So then moving on down here, we got Chef Mark Reinfeld, and he has 20 oil-free vegan sauce recipes, which, oh my gosh, if you've got a good sauce, you can make some really cool stuff happen. And this is kind of the thing that I'm pumping to some of my men, is because they're wrapping their head around the raw food thing. And I was like, look, you don't have to be a raw foodie. If you have an Instapot and you can Instapot some rice and lentils, and then you make one of Mark's sauces to toss on top, you're not eating dry lentils and rice. You've got this delicious oil-free sauce, right? No salt. Maybe if you want, you just a pinch of salt, because there's just so much salt in food nowadays. I mean, my buddy's like in his early 30s. He's got hypertension. His blood pressure, like he was hospitalized. And it's like, these things can be remedied really quickly when we release the processed food. We release the dogma, that we have to have animal foods into our life, and you just eat more plants. Now, of course, individuals who want to eat animal products, I mean, there's some people who are like, I'll never give up my meat, Nate. And I'm like, all right, cool. That's your thing. Just try to eat more vegetables. If you could eat 60 to 70% raw vegetables, fruits and vegetables, And then you've got 25% cooked whole food, plant-based, no oil, low to no oil or salt. And then, leave the 5% for, your animal product that you really have a hard time getting out of your life. Man, just see what happens. 90 days, just give it a 90 day, give it 30 days, see what happens. I mean, it's absolutely incredible what can go down. So he's got this priced at $9.99 for 20 vegan sauce recipes. 20 flavor packed oil free sauces designed to elevate bowls, salads, grains, veggies, and plant entrees with ease. Boom. I'm going to be tapping into this book because I like a good sauce. Chef tested, nutrition forward recipes that use simple whole food ingredients, perfect for home cooked meal prep, and anyone seeking healthier, cleaner cuisine. Beautiful. Bonus guides include how to mix and match sauces with meals. That's good because some people don't know. They're like, wow, what would I even use this sauce for? And then another one, batch cooking and storage tips. Beautiful. You know how it is with busy lives, right? We want to be able to batch cook and, store these sorts of things. How long they'll last when they're stored, these sorts of things. Plus simple methods to turn any sauce into a dressing, dip, or marinade. I love that too. That is definitely something that's helped me a lot in the beginning, especially as I was like, okay, I could take this red pepper cashew dip and essentially add more water, and I've got a nice dressing, right? So that's pretty cool. And once we learn the fundamentals and the foundation of these sorts of principles, it can be so much fun because you're just adding in your own stuff. You're putting in your own flair. Yeah, it's amazing. Hey, and if any questions pop up, feel free to toss them in the chat. I'll answer your questions the best I can. So we're moving on down here. Bone broth recipe. This is pretty cool. Bone broth. Because there's not everybody, there's a lot of people that are really all about bone broth. They'll be like, Nate, I'm starting to take bone broth. And I'm like, oh man, with a vegan lens, I'm like, why? You don't really need that. I understand that, I've listened to a few podcasts, you know, pro bone broth podcasts. I like to tap into other areas. Like, what are people saying out there? Like, what's their modality or what lens are they looking through? And of course, I have my strong biased lens. I really do truly feel from seeing the data, seeing what I've seen in the medical field, working in the hospital for years, and old age homes and the medical clinics, how impactful the food choices have on our body, how fast our body responds to these sorts of things. So it's really hard to not see that when you have that lens on. And I really thought this was a cute name. Must have delicious vegan bone broth, easy to use powder with protein mineral fusion. Fascinating. Bone broth recipe e-booklet to make delicious dishes. Bonus discount for the bundle buyers. 30% off your first subscription order. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I definitely am excited to tap into that. That's a $40 value right there. Pretty fun stuff. And then we got Donna Spencer over here with Plentiful Fare with Italian Flair. That's kind of a fun name right there. Some of these I'm really excited to tap into because Liz and I both like to, if something piques our interest, we're like, how can we make that raw? Let's see if we can make it raw. We just love raw food. We like to do stuff raw. So this is gonna be a fun one to tap into. 45 whole food, plant-based Italian recipes with an all-free, oil-free, and dairy-free. That's beautiful. Features tips and tricks of the Italian culinary heritage, mastering tomato bases. Ooh, that's good stuff right there. And blending umami and Italian plant-based cuisine with history and cultural insight woven throughout. That's going to be a really fun book to check out. These Italian classics honor family tables and traditional kitchens, perfect for everyday whole food and plant based cooking, guest worthy entertaining, and special occasions. When we have these sorts of tools in our belt and we want to go to a gathering and we are looking through the lens of how important it is to eat healthy foods, when we bring this kind of thing to a party, man, it's just the best is to watch other people's reaction. Like, I never knew it would taste, this tastes so good. The taste, the textures, right? These sorts of things are so huge. So that's going to be really cool. And then I've got my crack spread repeat book in the bundle here. And this is just, it's a fun book. I mean, I've always loved crackers. growing up, I would always have some crackers. Like, I want to get some more crackers in my life. Let's make raw crackers. So we make raw crackers throughout time. And I was like, maybe I'll put together a cracker book. Now, this book was in last year's raw bundle. And so I put it in this bundle because it wasn't in the vegan health bundle. And it is basically just different cracker recipes. They've got some cheese recipes in there, different dips and hummuses and sauce recipes that you can tap into for your crackers. It's a really fun one. So that's in the bundle as well. And we have here Lissa's sushi nori bowls. Hey, what's up, baby? I got it to work. I was like trying to figure it out. I couldn't share the screen, but somebody said that I said, hey, type a seven in the chat if you can see my screen. So evidently you can see my screen now, which is great because I was messing up there in the beginning. We should have done a practice run. But then we got Lissa's Sushi Nori Rolls and Bowls. This would be one of the books. If I was, say, someone just tapping in and I saw that there was this vegan health bundle, and I would look through and scroll through some of these books, this would be one of the ones that I would be like, I'm going to buy the bundle just for this book. So if you compile like 3 to 5 or 6 books together that you really are excited about, it's worth the price of the bundle, just those books alone. So really cool. This one here is 160 recipes for rolls, maki inside out sushi rolls, which she has done some of those inside out sushi rolls on her lives. Fillings, toppings, drizzles, dips, sauces, and sides. And if you guys know any of the books that my wife Lissa has created, you know that she goes all out on these books. Like it's absolutely fantastic. And what's really fun is we have some friends that are Japanese, and they were just blown away and also honored that she put in so much time and energy into making this such a good book and really kind of highlighting the Japanese cuisine. Um, oh, Tracy is Keisha. Okay, Tracy is Keisha. Ah, very cool, Keisha. We used 100% cacao bar. Can't remember the brand. Yeah, I couldn't remember the brand either. Yeah, okay, cool. What's up, Keisha? Thank you so much for helping me out and letting me know that you could see the screen. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, so Lissa's sushi book. My mouth's watering just thinking about it. A couple of the things that she has in there right now. Oh my gosh, so good. So scrolling on down, we got Dr. Melanie Joy, the Effective Vegan Activism online course. Whew, that's powerful stuff right there. Our Effective Vegan Advocacy course will help you develop the skills to talk about veganism in a way that reduces resistance to your message. I think we all could probably use some of this stuff sometimes, especially in the beginning when you first become someone who is an ethical vegan. It can be really tricky to know how to talk to family and friends about this sort of thing without getting too passionate and emotional and reactive. So I think that this is going to be really great. She says here, you'll learn practical tools for effective communication that can make your conversations about veganism healthier and more impactful. Come to better understanding the psychology of eating animals and discover techniques for creating a sense of connection when discussing veganism in order to reach a mutual understanding. That is a powerful book. I feel like, yeah, her website is www.carnism.org. Very interesting. That is going to be a really cool book. I saw that when I downloaded it and I was like, "Ooh, I'm excited to tap into that one." Well, I think we can all use these bits into our life. And then we're cruising on down here. We got Dr. Matt Letterman and Dr. Alana uh, Polde, I think, or I'm probably saying her name wrong, but this one here is Keep It Simple, Keep It Whole. And I've met Dr. Letterman, Matt Letterman. We do an improv class with Chef AJ, and Matt's in that class, and he is a great guy, and he's such a fun person. So look at here. They've got this book. Instead of rules, willpower, or dogma, the book offers a clear, calming framework that helps people fully understand food in a way that's sustainable and humane, cuts through nutrition confusion without shame or extremes. Huge. That's so huge. Written by practicing physicians who translate science into real life, doctors Matthew and Alana Turn complex nutrition science into plain language that actually works even for people who have failed before. It's a practical, whole person path to lasting health supported by recipes and tools to make healthy living doable day to day. That's a $20 value. That's going to be a great one. That is really going to be a great book to have right there. And then we're cruising on down the list here. Oh, we can see my whole screen if I could do that, huh? Because I was thinking, sure, can I put this up in? I don't think so. Rawthentic. Cruising on down, we got Karen Ramsey's Rawthentic over here, her book. And this is going to be a fun one too. Simple raw food delights to energize your life. Savory raw vegan meals to live on a daily basis. These are things you can incorporate on a daily basis. How to go raw vegan and learn the best food combinations for excellent digestion. There we go. Perfect. Some people have digestive issues. This can be a really powerful book right away. Then we got Doctors Rick and Karen, What I Eat in a Day video series. And if you don't know who Doctors Rick and Karen are, they run a raw food education. They have their website here, www.rawfoodeducation.com, and they have a Mastering Raw Food Nutrition course. Fantastic course. Both Liz and I have gone through their course. It's a year-long course. They do weekly live classes essentially to kind of go over the lessons that you ingest throughout that week. But I believe they take one of those weeks off. So it's 3 a month. Essentially, it's 3 a month. But absolutely incredible course. So they have the What I Eat in a Day video series. And what I really enjoyed about what they put together is a lot of people are trying to figure out the nutritional aspects of vegan, say plant-based foods as well as raw foods. So with their course, it's neat to be able to see what they eat in a day, and they really get very intricate about every single thing broken down. So you really have a good understanding that you're going to have your bases covered. It's really important to track. I feel that tracking what you eat is really important because you can see where the gaps are. But this is a really powerful series right here. They have this set up at $20, $19.97. Want to learn how to maximize nutrient density for long-term sustainability and maximum success with the raw vegan lifestyle? This course presents 2 versions of what Dr. Rick Dina, an almost 40-year raw vegan, eats in a day. The vitamin, mineral, fiber, carbohydrate, protein, fat, and water content of Dr. Rick's sample diets. Learn how vegetables, fruit, and starches not eaten compare nutrient-wise and how to design any plant-based diet for nutritional completeness. It's beautiful. That's a really great series right there that's included into this bundle. I just love that. I love that. Oh yeah, very good. Keisha was just saying here, found another brand called Just Date Only, has 3 ingredients: cacao, dates, and cacao butter. Boom. I know, I'm not sure if you're still in here, babe, but I was talking about how we made that raw chocolate with John Kohler, and I believe it was cacao, and I don't know if we used cacao butter or if it was coconut. Like we made coconut butter. I can't remember what we did, but I know there was 2 ingredients, and when we made that chocolate, that was really fun. And it's nice to be able to make your own chocolate. It was so simple with that machine, the seed grinder. You can make your own nut butters and stuff with that. All right, cruising on down here, we have Kathy Hester, her plant-based easy microwave meals. And this is really great because some people are just really busy. They want to be able to just pop something in the microwave. And, I've got multiple friends that I know. Yeah, it was coconut with John. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. It was coconut butter and just cacao nibs, and we made just amazing chocolate. But this is going to be interesting. I know a lot of people, don't want to use a microwave, but like I said, we have several friends that still use their microwave. So, and people are looking for easy, quick things to make, right? So here we have 2 whole food plant-based cooking classes, plus the PDF recipes from Kathy. Ever wished you could cook grits without all the stirring? Maybe make lasagna without heating up your house? These classes show you exactly how to use your microwave for the power of good. Faster breakfast and dinner and easy desserts, and even an Indian food from and even make Indian food from scratch. She's got that price, that product priced at $70. I'm excited to tap in. I want to see what she says because this is stuff that we can use. We start to ingest some of this information and some of the teachings. We can have that when we're talking to our friends or family because they're going to ask when you're a plant-based eater and you're an ethical vegan, you're going to be asked questions. So these are such great tools to be able to pull from to be like, oh, one thing you could do, and you learn from these individuals who have mastered these techniques, right? And we can give our friends and families and loved ones options of what they could do. Because some people are just lost. They're like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to go to the gas station and get my breakfast. So these are the things. It's so cool. There's so many different people's takes on things. Then we've got Bruce and Mindy in here with the power of herbs and spices. The power of herbs and spices is so huge. Oh my gosh, we would be lost without our herbs and spices. Just Date makes date chocolate. Okay. Yeah, Just Date. We have to check them out, babe. Did we? I think we've got some, didn't we? Lissa's throwing in the chat there about the brand Just Date. They make date chocolate. Ooh, so good. So if we're cruising down here for the power of herbs and spices, this 15 video series, there's 15 videos. That's so huge. Features 1 minute educational clips that spotlight the everyday herbs and spices you already know and reveal how they support wellness beyond flavor. These are great reminders for us. And if we can pull a few of these tools out, right, to give them to our friends and family, like, oh, you might want to add a little bit of this in there. That's going to really help you with this and this. I can't really think of them off the hand, but you know what I'm saying. Quick, practical, and science informed. Each video delivers takeaways that you can use right away to implement spices into your cooking. Learn the why and the how of using herbs and spices for health and flavor enhancement. Beautiful. They've got that priced out as $119 for that product. Huge. So good. Then we've got here Chef Julia Dunaway. I'm excited to tap into this too. I haven't tapped into this. Sourdough bread and pizza classes. Man, I used to make a lot of sourdough bread. We always had a sourdough starter on the counter, and we would give some starter away to friends, and we'd be making bread all the time. Listen, I don't bake bread. We don't have an oven to even bake bread, but I think this is going to be a good book because of the fact of being able to help other people with some very possibly, some just, I mean, pizzas are so dirt cheap out there. And we've got friends that they eat a lot of pizza. So both Liz and I, we try to inspire people to eat more whole foods. So I feel like this is going to be a really powerful book. This is a 2-part whole wheat sourdough bread and whole wheat sourdough pizza classes with Chef Julia. Everything is plant-based, no oil. The basic whole wheat sourdough bread recipe and instructions are in the class. Make the bread along with Chef Julia if your starter is ready to use. If not, she will show you how to make your own starter. This is massive. And then the pizza class has 4 more recipes for sourdough bread and recipes/suggestions for toppings. Beautiful. Who doesn't want that? And of course, like for me, if you're anything like me, I'm a visual learner. I do so much better if I can watch somebody do something, then I'm like, I got this, but this is going to be a powerful one, I feel, for a lot of people. And I did a live with Chef Val, and she had some of that sourdough bread in the background that she showed me. And oh my gosh, it looked absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Then we've got over here Nikki Davis, Dr. Nikki Davis. And this one here is my favorite breakfasts. Very cool. Okay, very, very good. Nice cover, a little hard to read that font. We might have to give her a little feedback there, like, hey, that's a hard font to read, but those blueberries sure do look delicious. So hers is a 5 recipe demo videos, 5 printable recipes for you to enjoy at home. You probably wouldn't have to print them if you didn't want to. They'll be right in there, but it's kind of nice. Some people like to have the recipe in hand. Easy filling, oil-free, yummy plant-based breakfast recipes. She got that priced at $29. 5 recipe demo videos. Boom. There we go. Visual learner, right? You just watch it. That's going to be fun to tap into. I want to see what her breakfasts are like. I'm excited. Oh, and then Namado, our friend Kiko, this is one of the ones that I was talking about. She's Japanese, and she she reached out to Lissa and was like, I cannot believe how amazing this sushi book is, Lissa. She's like, I can't remember her words, but basically she felt like honored that, yeah, in a way that Lissa put in so much energy into highlighting some of these amazing meals that Kiko grew up with. And it was really neat to hear how, because this is coming someone who is Japanese saying this is exactly, how it ought to be, right? It's because it's all raw, which is really, really cool. And Kiko is another raw eater out there. So it's really cool. So she's got here a heartfelt personal memoir of transformation. Namido. My raw vegan journey shares Kiko's life altering shift into raw vegan living and how it reshaped her body, mind, and spirit. That's massive. It's so fun to hear other people's stories. We as humans, we love stories, right? We love the songs that has the story in it. We love the movies, like watching these stories. Stories are so empowering because we hear what someone else went through and then we can kind of wrap our brain around, hey, maybe I could do something like that too. Maybe I could shift as well, right? So I'm really excited to tap into her book. I know it's going to be really cool. So this book is a blends inspiring storytelling with practical insights, including cultural reflections, common challenges, lifestyle tips, and recommendations for sustainable raw food habits. It includes a collection of simple, nourishing recipes that reflect Kiko's philosophy and the vibrant, soul fulfilling foods served at her, how do you say it? Koito Rock Cafe, Kyoto Rock Cafe, I believe it. She has a cafe and she opens it up. I don't believe it's she's open every day. I can't remember how many days it is that she has that open, but it's really cool because again, we want to be able if we want to be able to have impact in people's lives. We all want to inspire one another. It's just something in us as humans in a lot of ways. There's some people who don't, right? But there's a lot of people that are like, oh man, this helped me in so many ways. It could help you too. Try this out. So I love that she has that in there. That's a $25 value. Then we have Dr. McDougall, who passed away this last year. And I believe that his team and his daughter are still running some of the stuff here. So Dr. McDougall, the Starch Solution Masterclass. So Starch Solution Masterclass and community, how to follow the starch solution in real life, building meals that keep you full and satisfied, navigating hunger, weight loss, and consistency. That's a $149 value. And I know that's going to be a really powerful one. And these are some of the foods that really can help people stay consistent in this lane of being a plant-based eater. I think that's going to be a really good one to tap into as well. Then we have here Connie DeKramer, loving your relationship with food. I love that. And that's really what drew me into Lissa, who is now my wife. When I tapped into the raw vegan niche, I wanted to know how to eat raw vegan. From having that experience with the guy on the ski lift. And I was like, I got to do this. And when I found Lissa on YouTube, just her YouTube name, Lissa's Raw Food Romance, I was like, she's created a loving relationship with her food, which a lot of us really, really need. Oh, baby, I love you so much. She's like, I love being your wife. I love having you as my wife. I am so honored to have you as my wife. My gosh. But it was that name, Raw Food Romance. I was like, I don't really have a very healthy, loving relationship with my food. Like most people don't. Not a lot of people do. There's very, very few families I feel like that have a healthy relationship with food that have their children grow up and that's instilled. A lot of us come from these domesticated lives and we're eating a lot of boxed goods. It's just kind of how the world is right now, but stuff is shifting and these sorts of things like the vegan health bundle really help that shift. So I believe that this is going to be a really powerful one because we all have a lot of work to do creating a healthy, loving relationship with our food. So here she says here, understanding emotional eating, massive, and learn how presence and awareness soften impulsive urges, allowing a more loving, respectful relationship with food. This is powerful stuff. This is really powerful stuff right here. Discover how feelings, challenges, and everyday experiences are guides rather than obstacles, helping unwind habits. And then reconnect with your inner wisdom and initiate or innate your inner wisdom and innate intelligence. Super, super powerful stuff. There's a lot of people that both Liz and I connect with, they'll reach out that these are this product alone, $99 value, can really help some of these individuals that are reaching out to us because this is a huge thing. Liz and I watched this series called Super Size versus Super Skinny. And they would take someone who is super skinny and what they eat, and they would show them, they'd throw all the food in the tube of what they eat. They had this big, huge, clear tube. Maybe some of you guys have seen that series or a show of it. And then they would have the super size person, like, and they would throw all the food that they had in that, what they would eat in a week, I think it was. And they would put their food on the table and they would each be sitting at this table, and then the table was on a spinner so they could spin the table, and they would have to eat each other's food. Like the person who was not eating was like, I'm so sorry, like you don't have any breakfast this morning, and the guy was like, or the person was like, oh my gosh, no breakfast. And then they would look at each other, they'd see. It was so fascinating, this show. And the person who is, say the super skinny person has to eat like, oh my gosh, this is what you eat for breakfast? Like, oh, this is going to be a hard day. Like it was fascinating. And I feel like the main key point in a huge way was the individuals in the show understanding where this trauma comes from that that is basically expressed in this way of either overeating or undereating. Hoarders is another series show out there that touches in upon this as well. This trauma, there's something that happens within us in our life, somewhere, somehow, and it's expressed in these ways. And that's where I feel like this book, Loving Your Relationship with Food, how the feelings and challenges, it really is interesting when we really start to dig into why are we eating these things that don't serve us when we know, there's some people who don't know, but there's a lot of people, there's a lot of information out there nowadays, and people are understanding more so, I feel like nowadays, how much food impacts our lives. And I just thought that was both Liz and I thought that was a fascinating series psychologically, like what's going on with people where they feel that they need to do these things to themselves, like bury themselves in trash or, overeat or undereat. And somewhere along the lines, there was something that happened, like some traumatic event or multiple events that led them to express these sides of themselves in these ways. It's just so fascinating stuff. So I feel like all of us on the planet can definitely work on our relationships with our food in so many ways. So that's a $99 value. That's going to be cool to tap into. And with the bundle, you guys, if you haven't got the bundle, it's linked in the description. Go check it out. Like this is the web page that I'm going through right here, so you can see all the stuff that's in it, just the same as we're doing right here. But what I feel like is really powerful is there's 70 downloads. So if you focused on one particular book for that week, you have over a year worth of different books to go through, right? That can be kind of overwhelming in a way, but there's going to be some books that you're just drawn to. You're like, I want to read that one. I want to tap in. So maybe, you just focus on that one and try to in, ingest some of the information for the week. Tap into it an hour a day you spend on reading or watching some of these videos. And we all have the time to spend at least 30 minutes on opening up one of these books. And that's what Liz and I like to do. We like to open these up and see what other people are, how they teach, what they create. It's inspirational. Then we have here, moving on down the line, Ignite Your Joy mini course. We all could use a little ignition on our joy, right? And I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name. I'll pronounce it in my head. But either way, she's got a 5-day of holistic inspiration, 5 days of holistic inspiration to help you prioritize your happiness. Powerful stuff. Each day of the course includes a meditation for your soul and a food tip for your body and an activity slash practice for your mind. Huge. Who could not benefit from that? Massive. And the price, she sells this for $250. And I'm sure it's worth every penny. You know, a lot of these creators, they know their worth, they know what they're putting into it. She's probably spent decades in this area, so she has put in the time, and that's what she valued it. That's a $250 value. That's so huge. And this is something that no matter how balanced our life may be, we can all use a bit more joy in our life. So I really like this. This is so cool. I've only skimmed through these when I downloaded them, and going through them with you right now. I'm like, ooh, this is going to be some good stuff. I'm looking forward to tapping in to some of these things. Moving on down, we got Sweet Relief from Sid Nodder. I believe that's how you say her name. Sweet Relief, cutting back on inflammatory sugars. Very good. And learning how much sugar is too much and even the healthy ones. Okay. How sugar triggers inflammation and tips and swaps to cut back on sugar. There's also a video cooking demo for 3 easy treats, valued at $39. That's screaming. That's a good setup right there. There is, man, I mean, if we look around out there, especially what we're seeing being sold at the stores, there is way too much processed sugar and processed food. So this is a really good one too. Sweet Relief. Then we're cruising and we got here Cooking and Nutrition Bundle with Jerry and Kelly. Jerry Costados and Kelly Williamson. Plant-based nutrition lifestyle. Bundle of recipe video tutorials, access to online recipes and nutrition education. And they have 5 low-fat, whole food, plant-based freezer soup recipes. Boom, make those soup recipes, toss them in the freezer. When you want that soup, you pop it out, heat it up. So simple. I love that. Each recipe with tips and tricks in the kitchen from Chef Kelly. And then we've got nutrition education video, an introduction to a plant-based nutrition and starch solution by Jerry Costados. Nutrition therapy, a nutrition therapy practitioner and certified instructor for Dr. McDougall's Starch Solution Program. And then you also have access to over 90 plus low fat and oil free recipes from our online plant based cookbook. Wow, that's regularly $500 they sell that for. So if you don't get it in the bundle, which you get all this stuff for 49 bucks, and you're tapping in and you come across this and you're like, I want that. You're going to pay $500 for that. $500 for that education. That is a screaming deal there in the bundle, $49. This is going to be cool to tap into as well. Like I said, listen, sometimes we don't get to tap into everybody's stuff throughout the year, but we try to tap into everybody's stuff because we want to see what other people are teaching, what they're doing, and try to implement some of that stuff into our coaching and teaching. And it's just neat to be able to pull from different people. Then we've got Wisdom of the Ages. Look at this one here. Healthy World Vitality Plan, a cultural exploration of the spiritual foundation of veganism throughout history. Whoo, that's good. Bonus 2026 full year Healthy World Vitality Plan membership for all new bundle members. Massive. And then you got the bonus, another bonus here, exclusive discount code from our 2026 Pause and Plants Summit. And then we have here the PDF welcome packet, Wisdom of the Ages. That's an $80 value, $79 value. So cool. I know. So what I like to do when we get these bundles is once you download them all, make another folder inside your master folder. You've got your master folder, the Vegan Health Bundle 2026 with all the downloads in there. Inside that folder, make another folder of your top books that you want to go through. Say number 1, and then you could do number 2, number 3. And you can start to categorize some of these books because I'm like, I want to put this would be in my number 1. There'd be a few of them I'd want to put in my number 1 folder. That's definitely one of them because it's always cool. And I want to see like the spiritual foundation of veganism throughout history. Massive. I mean, I know little tidbits, but that's going to be cool, right? Definitely really cool stuff. Tofu Mastery by Tim Kaufman. So he's got another book in here, perfect for beginners and skeptics who think they hate tofu. So good. Learn how to cook delicious oil-free tofu with confidence. Simple methods that turn tofu into crave-worthy staple. That's nearly a $50 value. $47.97 for that book right there. So after the bundle, if you wanted his book, look at that's nearly the price of the bundle itself. Massive. This is going to be so cool because I feel like tofu can be a really powerful staple food for people transitioning into raw foods or people who are just plant-based eaters. Tofu is a massive staple. And there's so many things you can do with tofu. Like when the kids come to visit, we have to get a single burner now because we tore our oven out and we have a microgreen rack where the oven is. But we would do in our previous place, if we wanted to make them like a breakfast burrito, we would scramble up some tofu with some turmeric and some pepper. Turmeric and pepper, mixing those two are great together. And some of the calinamic salt, the black salt. It's like a sulfur salt. So with the turmeric, gives the tofu the color of the egg, and the black salt gives it that sulfur taste and the smell. It's like eggs. It's like scrambled eggs, but definitely way healthier for you than actual scrambled eggs. So that's going to be a cool one too. And then cruising on down, look at it. It's like, when does it end? There's so many things in this bundle, man. More plants for everyone. Dr. Carrie is in here. Family meals first. This is so cool. She's got was it 5 kids? I believe she has 5 kids. I did a live with her yesterday, and so she knows how how it can be with the family. So this is going to be cool. This cookbook encourages everyone to eat plants, provides options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and has only quick and easy recipes. Boom. Who doesn't want that? Everybody wants quick and healthy recipes. Everyone enjoy recipes like muffins, curries, casseroles, a bean loaf, shawarma, tempeh bacon, granola, and one pot meals. One pot meals are great. Dump and go kind of stuff. She's got that price at $14.99. That's going to be a good book. Love it. Then we've got Plant Powered Meal Planner Light by Kim Murphy. All right. So her website is Simply Plant Based Kitchen. Boom. 6 weeks of 5-day delicious and easy whole food plant based meals and recipes. 6 weeks of them of 5-day delicious recipe. That's massive. So you got your grocery shopping lists. Oh, this was one of the main things that I was so excited in the very beginning of going raw when I bought Lissa's Meal Plan Volume 1 is she had the grocery list. So it was like, not only here's the recipe for the meal, but here's the grocery list. So I didn't have to go to the grocery store and fumble around. I just followed the list. Everything that was on the list is what I needed for the recipe. It's like, how can you fail? So screaming. So you got the grocery list, know exactly what you need and help you get in and out of the store fast. I mean, who doesn't want to get in and out of the store fast? Right? So you got weekend power prep guide so you can batch everything in a couple of hours for the entire week, saving you tons of time. This is regular price at $47. This book alone, I feel like could really, these two with More Plants for Everyone, Carrie's book, and the Plant Powered Meal Planner Light, those two right there are massive for busy families. You implement those two things, and those two books right there is valued at more than the bundle itself. Super huge. Yeah, because everybody needs these sorts of things. Like we have friends. They're like, can you create a book that shows you how to make fast, healthy breakfast for kids? I'm like, get the bundle. It's in there. I'll tell you, it's the More Plants for Everyone. Tap into that right there. So then we hear cruising on down. We've got Courtney Courtney Soma, Vitality Holistic HW for her website. And this is the Liver Love Recipe Guide. Your liver is the quiet powerhouse behind hormone balance, blood sugar stability, digestion, detoxification, immune strength, and sustained energy. Let's just give it up for the liver for a moment. Thank you, liver, for doing the work that you do for us. Man, what a powerful, powerful organ. These recipes help it to finally breathe and function the way it's meant to. There's definitely an attack on us in many ways in this world. And I know you guys can see that and you can feel that. And these are some of the tools that can really help us take our power back. So this here is going to, she's saying here, reduce inflammation, pain, and chronic symptoms. That's massive right there. And then unlock more energy, clarity, and vitality. Hey, who doesn't want more energy, clarity, and vitality? This is kind of goes along with my book, Full Mast. This is really what the focus is in a lot of ways, is helping people get their energy, clarity, and vitality back. So then you also got gentle healing recipes that your body can actually use. Boom. $10 value. Screaming. That's going to be good stuff. And then we got Lori Landry in here. And let's see here. Bake, bite, and blend video classes. Hey, man. Oh, that's going to be good stuff too. And I love classes. Like I said, visual learner here. So fun to be able to watch a class. Discover the secrets to delicious plant-based eating with 4 delicious and easy to follow recipes. Master guilt-free desserts and meals using my exclusive video guide and accompanying 8-page PDF. Transform your approach to healthy eating with simple go-to recipes that make sticking to a vegan lifestyle effortless and exciting. That's $67 value there. Bake, bite, and blend video classes. So as you see here, if we were to go through, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. I haven't even gone through, I've only gone through half of what this is full of. Here, right here, we're ending on the last, this Plant Strong. Plant Strong. This is Rip Esselstyn. This is Caldwell Esselstyn's son right here. Coupon booklet with coupon code and 4 recipes. Plant Strong foods. Delicious and convenient. Apple raisin overnight oats. I need to get something to eat. I'm feeling it right now. That sounds amazing. Look at pinto bean crunch salad, secret sauce, chickpea jars, and black bean confetti soup recipes, right? And then we got rest and digest. I just wanted to scroll through here just to show you. Look, we've got 12 hours left on this bundle. I could probably spend another hour going through each one and just letting you see what's in it. But check it out for yourself. It's linked in the description. Right now, as it sits, it's almost noon PST here, downtown Las Vegas. This is September 22nd. So if you're watching this later, because this live will be posted to my YouTube channel, and you missed it, I'm really sorry that you missed it. I did as much as I could. Actually, I shouldn't say I did as much as I could. I probably could have gone live more, and I could have pumped this way more. But I feel like I did the best that I could with the time that I had for this. I really, really do feel that something like this is powerful stuff. $49. You cannot beat that. You cannot beat it. Go check it out. Check out the link in the bio. Hopefully you see this today. And I know this was a long live, and there wasn't too many questions coming in here, so we didn't have much of a discussion going on about anything. But I really appreciate you guys tapping in and watching here what the little bit that we've done. Be sure to grab this bundle before it's gone. Well, listen, we really do enjoy being contributors to these bundles, because it's just a great way to get this information in your hands for such a great deal. And just implementing a couple of these things into your life is going to help you in so many ways. And of course, there's a lot of people in our audience that are plant-based eaters already, but I know that we have a lot of people that are in our audience that aren't plant-based eaters, and they're trying to figure it out. And this is one of those great tools. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this moment together. I'm really excited because I was able to actually share my screen for this live, which that was huge. And I'm excited to be able to do more YouTube lives, because I think that can be a really fun time. And I want to go live more in the kitchen. I feel like for me personally, in the very beginning, I wanted to see stuff made. Like, how do you make this stuff? Okay, that's cool. That sounds really amazing. But like, what do you do? I don't even know what to do. So that's really somewhere I want to focus more, as well as going live more and showing you how to make certain things in real time. And yeah, it's definitely going to be fun. I'm really glad that we figured out this YouTube live because, yeah, for the longest time, both Liz and I weren't doing YouTube lives. And now that we have this figured out, it's like, all right, that's going to be fun. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed. And be sure to go grab that bundle before it's gone. It ends here in just 12 hours. So, yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Love you guys. And we will see you on the next one.